Take a look right here at Jahdae Barron, Broncos' newest addition at cornerback against Georgia. This is a game where, he could have had 3 interceptions here. He ends up coming away with 2 against the Bulldogs. Now, in this formation, obviously, you're going to get motion right here. Sometimes this turns into a wheel threat. He's really just going to play over the top deep, right? But number 1 right here, he's going to eventually become number 2. He's just going to run a quick. He's going to sit inside, run a curl. You're going to get the outside release here, but you're going to have safety over the top. Outside, you're going to have a flat defender, inside linebacker, and you're going to have this guy also helping out here. So really what we're going to see is just an overthrow by the Georgia quarterback. He's in position, almost comes away with the pick right here, does a great job of selling it. Hey, if you can find a way to sell it as a DB, that's always important. But, big reason the Broncos are going with Barron here, kind of ignoring that conventional thinking of, well, the Broncos should have drafted a running back. They should have drafted a tight end or a wide receiver. They believe in adding premium positions and players who have elite-level grades, and Barron was one of the highest-graded players on the Broncos board. Can play inside, outside, a lot of versatility. Can play safety if you need him to here. You're going to see a lot of stuff. Now, on this play, we're just going to watch him cover. He doesn't make a play here. Now, I want you to watch just how closely, how tight and how fast he closes in on routes. Obviously, right here is where you're looking, right? You got a little bit of a too-high shell over here. The play's going to go over to the opposite side of him, but I want you to watch him specifically here as we break down the all-22. He just does a great job staying in front, right? This is zone coverage because he's playing where he's just going to turn and be able to see the quarterback. If he breaks in, he's going to climb on top of that. But watch his closing speed. He sees that, right? Because, look, this guy throttles down right here. We call this 80-20, right? Because this guy's trying to help out over here. You got this threat, so he has to cheat over. So this guy, this is what we call a cover 3 beater that Georgia's trying to diagnose. So initially, you want the corner, if you're the offense, if you're Georgia, you want the corner to play and bite on this route right here, and this is going to be wide open for a touchdown. Barron does a great job of playing the 80-20 role, right? Because, anytime you play cover 3, 80% you got to play over here, but sometimes you got to play that 20% that comes across the hash, and he does that. He locates that, and he climbs over the top of the receiver. And luckily Georgia did not see that play. He would have made a play on the football there, but that's a great, smart, instinctual play for him. So it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but you look at the high-level football IQ, that's what we're talking about. So now let's go to the goal line situation right here. Play doesn't come his way, but I just want you to watch his mirror tech, how he plays in terms of man coverage and goal line situations, and how he obviously closes in and closes the gap against a receiver who's running a route. Boom, good instincts, doesn't bite on the inside shake, makes contact immediately, gets in hip, is in phase. You try to throw that, it's going to be knocked away there. That's just one small play there, right? Some of these plays, you're not going to necessarily see him making a play, so to speak, but you're going to see him doing things that the Broncos look at outside of statistics, and they're like, hey, this is why we like this player. Okay, now he's at the top of our screen right here, and just watching him, he's just playing off-ball coverage, scoot. Now, hey, anytime you throw a screen, a cornerback, if you ever played DB, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're always coached as a corner. You need to attack the outside shoulder of this wide receiver. Your job isn't necessarily to make this play right here. If you can make it, that's great. But your idea is to force this guy back inside because, look, you got a defender right here. You got a safety right here. Does a great job attacking the outside shoulder. So ideally, number 3 should come up and make this play right here, and the safety should as well. Instead, it's in the dirt. Good pursuit right here. You're going to see a couple plays like this. Well, look, they're showing that bubble, faking the inside look, throwing the bubble here. Watch him. He just doesn't bite on it. Once again, attacks the outside because guess what? You get blocked inside. This guy's got a free release up the sideline for a touchdown. So attack the outside shoulder, take it away. And once again, number 3, the safety. These guys should all close in and make a play. Number 3 overshoots it. Guy cuts back inside and is going to get positive yards. So even though this is a negative play for the Texas defense, we're watching a guy do his job, okay? At the top of your screen right here. Once again, off ball to the boundary side. They're just throwing a simple out right here. He's covering the vertical release, okay? He does a good job of not biting and turns into a little bit of a double move. It's going to fall incomplete. Now, once again, you get motion here. You get a release right here, and it's going to question, hey, is he going to run a swing route? What's going to happen? They're going to do that same exact thing. Once again, he attacks the outside shoulder, does his job, but now it's like, hey, where's everybody else on the defense? Okay, this guy's going to be a little late. This guy's going to take a banana peel angle, and this guy's also going to attack right here, but he's doing a good job of blowing it up on the outside. That's exactly what he should do, but the help is not there inside. While that's a negative play against the Texas defense, that's not necessarily a negative play by Barron. He did his job exactly how the coaches want him to do that, even though the rest of the defense didn't make the play. So let's watch it here from the other angle, because I always think this is important to be able to see sometimes the perimeter. He attacks outside. Now he's going to spin. He's going to try to get into trail pursuit right here. In case it does go, he's in a position to make a play. But you need your help from your defense to get there a little bit sooner on this play. All right, so now let's take a look here. Once again, top of the screen, zone coverage. He just eyeing the quarterback. He's seeing what's going to happen, right? Because you're on what we call the boundary side right here, the shorter side of the field, and this guy's obviously closer to the line of scrimmage, right? So what do you have to worry about? You have to worry about in-breaking routes. You got to worry about vertical releases. You got to worry about quick out-breaking routes, right? The sticks are right here. So you can even get a simple curl or hitch inside. So just watch him. He's outside leverage. He's keying the quarterback here in zone. He sees it's an out. He does a good job of planting, and now he's going to drive and make the tackle on this play. You're going to give up 3 or 4 yards. You're okay with giving that up. It's about going up there. Can you make a play? Can you come out and tackle by keeping everything in front of you? It's zone coverage. So he's playing it from the zone standpoint. He's not the flat defender. He's covering the deep third. So keep an eye on that. Comes up, makes the play. Like that right here. Now, bottom of your screen, I think this is the play, one of his interceptions. I think that this gets called, a penalty. No, it's not this one. This is a pass breakup. That one's coming up, though, but does a great job right here driving. He's at a good angle where he can climb into the receiver's hip pocket. He goes through. He gets his hand on hip, brings his ball side hand through. That's the one thing we always coach, right? You never want to go to try to make a play in the ball without being able to secure the tackle if you miss the deflection. A PBU right there for Barron. Great job. Let's watch it here from this angle. I mean, this quarterback, he's just giving it. It's a quick, bang, catch, dip, throw, and you're not even going to get it. Just a great pass breakup, great knockaway there by Barron. Now I think this is the play, right? Third down. I think this is the interception here. They call pass interference initially. There is contact there, right? But I know that this was the play in question this season where the fans started throwing stuff on the field, and it forced them to change the call. You just want to avoid being able to catch right there, especially at that depth. At the NFL, you'll get flagged for that. It's great to come away with a pick. It counts as interception because the penalty got overturned essentially on the field. But you just want to avoid right here. I understand. You're going to absorb contact. You have as much right to the football as the wide receiver does. But in situations like that, at the NFL, you're going to get flagged for illegal contact. But, man, you can see what he can do with the ball in space. He's got good speed. He's got good instincts here. So now let's take a look at this play right here, okay? You're going to get 2 receivers to the offensive left, defensive right, and right here you got a safety over the top. You got your 2 linebackers right here. Safety walk down on the tight end, corner playing against this wide receiver right here. So on this play, he's right here at the top of our screen. He's just keeping everything in front of him, right? And now he sees, hey, okay, I got help inside. This guy's riding here. He's going to play inside number 2. You got a safety over the top. He knows, hey, this ball is out. This is thrown. I'm going to break on it, and I'm going to go rally and tackle. Right there, he knows that he's not going to get there in time. So once the receiver makes the catch, it's about, okay, how can I pursue and bring this guy down without overshooting it and missing? He goes up there, mirrors him step for step, makes the tackle right here. Let's take a look at it here from the other angle. This is just a quick hitter. Georgia's just throwing dink and dunks all throughout the day in this game here. So just being able to match and mirror guys. Look, he overshot it inside, still makes the play right there. Now let's take a look here. Now this is obviously when he was wearing number 23. I believe this was a 2023 against Bama, and obviously Jalen Miller. Now he's playing inside the nickel here, right? You got 3 wide receivers to the defensive right side. So let's take a look at him. He's just jamming. This is zone. This corner right here is playing cover 3. He's playing a curl to flat. He's playing that middle hook over here, or hook to curl. He's just sitting underneath because they're trying to turn this into a post wheel, and now they throw it to this guy, and he's just going to jump the play right here, get an interception, and run it down, giving Texas obviously favorable field position at the 31-yard line. Obviously, Jalen Milroe is a prospect we expect to go probably round 2, maybe round 3 into the NFL draft. But look at this. Milroe throwing that and Barron diagnosing it. This is a guy who watches a lot of tape and a lot of film, high football IQ. That's one thing his coaches raved about. That's one thing George Payton and Sean Payton talked to us about regarding him, is that his work ethic, his football IQ, it's elite level, the way he studies and prepares to put himself in position. Now, obviously, 3 wide receiver set here. Once again, this is second down. First down markers right here. He's playing right here inside the slot with 2 safeties over the top here. But let's take a look here at what he's doing. They're just running vertical right here. So now it's about reading and reacting. Okay, he sees the outbreaking route. He knows he's going to take that. So he's going to close in on the hip, drop back and get depth because the ball's thrown here to the second level. So he's going to go up there, knock it away, try to make a play there on the football. Let's take a look at it from this angle here. Just a simple drop back. He's going to fire this. And right here, look, you just love that, okay? Because you got help over the top right here from this guy. Now you can go make a play with the football. Protect it. Bang, knock it up in the air. You never know. You could generate a tip. Tips lead to picks. We always talk about that. Okay, outside corner right here. This is against Florida. You get some fake motion here, and you're going to get a drop back here by the quarterback. He's looking away. Look, Barron doesn't bite on the double move. He's on the hip of the wide receiver right here. Now they throw the screen outlet to the tailback. He's going to come up and be active, right? He plays the man until he says, okay, hey, the ball is out. I know where it's going. Now I'm going to come up and be a help and run support, especially if this guy breaks a tackle. This is a guy who loves to be around the football. That's one thing that the Broncos like. Now, look, we talk about versatility. All right, now he's playing inside here. Now he's just climbing depth. You got crossing pattern right here, vertical release right here. You're going to get a sit route right here. So what's going to happen? He's just going to drop and chase. He's going to make a play right here and help out and run support. So that's the one thing, too. Obviously, the change went from number 23 to number 7, right? Here he is right here. Let's take a look at him. Keying it inside right now. He's inside the number 3 receiver. Look, you got a tailback to his side. So he's kind of playing that hybrid role. He can kind of play that box safety. Like, hey, I can play man-to-man coverage against a running back that's got athletic skills at this point. So now look at him. He's just keying. Now he's going to read, obviously, the guard. The guard comes low and comes off the ball to run. He steps back or drops back with a high pad level. It's a pass. He's reading that quickly. Okay, hey, it's pass. I'm locating. Here's the receiver right here. I'm just going to go out here and try to find work, right? If work's not there, bang. I'm going to go up there. He's going to come up there, make a tackle, short gain, tries to punch the football out. I mean, this is a guy, like I said, can play anywhere. Inside, outside. It allows versatility for Pat Surtain to line up outside, inside. You can isolate matchups there. But once again, another one of these plays coming up against the run. He's going to attack outside right here, and he's going to come up and make this tackle. Once again, you always want to make sure as a corner you never pursue so far inside because of the cutback. The cutback gets out there. You as a corner, you also have run responsibility. And that's one thing that I think he's done a really good job at when you look at his tape all throughout Texas. Now, we only got our hands on several games here, several games that have the All-22, so we don't necessarily have the full picture, but these are the game tapes that we have so far. If we get more, obviously, I'll add some into the mix, but I think some of these were probably the better games. But he's willing to come up and tackle, like I mentioned, over 200-plus tackles in his career at Texas. Now, communication, you get motion. Now everyone's going to bump down a little bit. He's still outside leverage. And once again, he's reading the release. He's just going vertical here, faking the inside handoff. And now this quarterback's looking. Now, hey, it's zone. He's in front of the receiver, so he can stare at the quarterback because he can see the receiver and the QB. Where's the QB going right here? He's just going to throw this out here, and once again, he's just going to drive on this, bring his ball side hand around bring his hand around the hip, bring his ball side hand forward to knock it away to force an incompletion. That's just good instincts, good play right here by Barron. So once again, you see it out of the pistol look here for Florida. Quarterback really doesn't hide where he's trying to go. Great sticky ball skills right there. That could be dangerous to say in a sentence. But you get my point, okay, right here. Now, once again, this is against Georgia. This is another interception that he has, okay? You get a two by two formation. You get 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Now, on this vertical release here, this guy's going to try to just almost run a clear out, essentially, and he's going to be open underneath. Quarterback's going to fire this. Barron is going to have to attack this at a 45-degree angle underneath, and it's tipped right into his hands. That's a hard play for anyone to make, especially when you have to come underneath a designed pick route right there that's designed to free up this receiver. Once again, just be in position. Tips lead to picks. This is a good pick here for the Denver Broncos. It makes the strength of theirs already better.